what then you said was a venture with some sort of touring aircraft that you had then. How have the plans altered? And this being your farewell tour, are you satisfied with what you've derived from performing at this point?
I'm satisfied with it, yeah. I never expected to get that much out of it when I first started anyway. I've got more out of it than I thought I would. I didn't enjoy it when I first started, but I've got used to it now. It's quite fun now.
Were you surprised at the reception that you've had? I remember talking to you in February and you saying that at one point you went on stage, was it in Edinburgh or somewhere in Scotland?
Glasgow.
Yeah, when you that was sort of the catalyst when you realized, geez, this can sure get pretty wacky.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was what made it. It's when you realise what you've done, when you're actually in front of the people, you see what you've done.
How about, in a sense, do you have any regrets about coming off the road, given the fact that now people are depending on you? Is that kind of hard to turn your back on?
I don't think people are depending on me. Not really.
Not to perform, not to come to present your music to them?
I don't think they depend upon it, no. Not like they do food. They depend on food, not me. I'm just an added attraction, I think. And there's plenty of others. It's a regret. I think most people that I've had letters from have been very nice about it and wished me luck. One or two have been rather silly. And said that I'm deserting the fans and they made me and all that sort of rubbish. It's a very silly attitude to take, mainly from the young ones I've been getting it.
And how about the people with whom you take on the road? Do you feel any kind of obligation to them?
No.
Not at all.
Why?
Okay, no, I find
they're going on. When we finish, they're going to stay as a band, apart from Paul, who's going to stop as well. And they're going to go on and carry on touring. They like touring. I don't particularly feel that I have to keep doing anything for the sake of others, as much as I don't ever feel that anyone else has ever done anything for the sake of me. I don't think it's being selfish at all. It'd be very silly for me to go on and tour year after year, hating the very thought of it, and forgetting everything else I ever wanted to do, just because I got 5 other musicians that may want to keep touring.
And it is surprising how many performers end up doing that. I mean, they create this big...
They get stuck in their own little trap, yeah.
So you want to remove yourself. I understand you want to progress towards a career involving video somehow.
Yeah.
You know, the explanations I've seen in print so far have been kind of sketchy. Do you have an idea really, and can you define what it is you want to do within video?
Yeah, exactly. The first thing I'm doing at the moment is setting up video libraries. The first one is in London in our school. You'll be able to get from those conventional films, rock concerts, information films like managerial courses, how to fly an aeroplane, how to drive a car, how to play instruments, information films, safety films, anything you would want to get.
And the public will have access?
Yeah, but it's a library, so they hire it.
I see.
For the same as you would hire a book. And within that, what I'm going to be doing basically to start with is short plays, collections of plays. So there'll be 10 plays to a cassette, each one about 5 or 10 minutes long, and there'll be a section for that too. And maybe the old classic plays, I'll get actors in and do those too. I just bought 25% of a studio and a video studio, so I've got all the facilities there that I want to do it.
What about yourself? Apart from your involvement with setting up the library, will there be will you still be performing for video, or will you be getting away from performing entirely and managing this, overseeing it?
Initially, I'll perform in it because it's easy, get it off the ground. Only for a short while, for maybe a year. And then, I'll step to the background. This is like the beginning of the phasing out period, so I can just fade down and go to the background again.
So you will be probably still releasing recordings of some sort?
Yeah, there's another 2 albums planned. After that, I'm not sure. I want it to become a hobby again, instead of a job. And so when it does become a hobby, I simply write when I want to, as most people do hobbies.
We often get calls and letters from people watching the program who, of course, want to get involved in the music business, want to start off, and end up with fabulous rock and roll careers. This is not something I think that you'd recommend to anyone, is that true?
Oh, I would, yeah. It's great. It really is great, yeah. I've enjoyed every minute of it. When I first got famous, I was very cynical of it, because I really wasn't used to it. It wasn't what I expected, so I simply, over the last year, I've got used to it now, to what is involved in it, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's now more of almost a game. The things that were cynical of before, I now can laugh at and smile at.
Like what? The star-making machinery?
No, the people around it. Yeah, I think they're really funny. Yeah.
How about the toll it takes? Well,
lack of privacy is the worst thing, that's all. You have to worry a little bit about your property getting damaged by fans on some hand and non-fans on the other, but that's the only problems, really.
Is it still your intention to be able to walk down the street without people clawing at you at some point in your life? Can you do that now?
Oh, no. Oh, well, it depends where I am. Depends what time of day it is, too. I can go down some streets. Depends what country I'm into.
Of course, of course. You said before Telecon came out that you were still tinkering with the mixture of keyboards and guitars on your works, and that your earlier work had been far too guitar-oriented for your liking, and now you would progress to keyboard work. But Telecon still is heavily keyboard-oriented.
Oh, I don't know. I thought Pleasure Principle was it was all keyboards. That's what I had against that one. And so with Telecon I tried to bring guitars back more. I like it, actually. I think it works.
There are lead guitars on it, and
there's no solos on it, but then I'm not a great solo fan anyway.
Are you still writing on your out-of-tune piano?
Yeah, still got it, same one. I have to get a new one day.
If it doesn't go down, you'll probably put it in some Hall of Fame or...
No, I'll put it up in the loft.
What about Simple Minds? You never did get to produce?
No, I met them, but the timing didn't quite link up. They wanted to do it in July, which wasn't really convenient for me. I was doing something else, and I was still doing tours. I was like touring the Far East at that time. They'd done some things on my album, some handclaps. They visited us one day, but no, they went back to John Leckie again. I think is it John Leckie?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Is it still your intention to produce them at some point?
I wouldn't mind. I'm not worried really.
How about Jabriath? Have you found him yet?
No, I haven't looked. I'm going to look when I get to New York, see what he's doing. I don't know if he was based in New York even. But still, good place to start.
What about other people you want to work with? You worked this time here with Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
Recently collaborated on a couple of tunes, which, given his recent concert here, stood out as being quite incredible departures. Was he apprehensive about it?
No, he was all for it, actually. I was a little bit apprehensive. I wasn't quite sure what to let myself in for. I never could see him change in the way he did, really. He really is far more than I've ever done.
I know if I had to pick, 20 musicians, I thought would ever work with you, Robert Palmer would not have been among them.
No.
He was sort of unusual in that respect.
I think it worked very well, though. I think it's the best album he's done for a long time. Not my particular thing on it, what he's done with it himself is great. He's got like a little spark of an idea and taking it all over the place. It's good.
Another performer who's been able to combine some sort of a career with video and recording is Rundgren. He's got his own studio outside of Woodstock.
Yeah, apparently.
And done that. What would be the mixture now? I mean, if say we're talking about 1981 or 82 right now, will you spend a certain amount of time recording and producing, or is it just going to be, very spontaneous?
Yeah, no, it'd be mainly video. Everything that I'm doing from now on is connected with video, and then if I get spare time, I'll do music. I'm looking forward. I enjoy the tour and I enjoyed the British tour, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. But I'll be glad when it's finished. Then I can do. I'm just looking forward to getting on with it. It's like a project which is just sitting there waiting.
And what about your aircraft?
Oh, that's when I'm 28. So what's that? 5.5 years to go, yeah.
How can you plan out your life that far ahead?
Well, it's easy. I don't know. Just planned it. Well, why not? You plan what you're going to do the next day, don't you?
That's 5 years.
And 10 years when I've done it. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. I don't see the problem. I think if more people sat down and thought about what they wanted to do a bit more, and some people they think about what they want to do and they think it's impossible, and so they don't even try. And so I've got 3 impossible things to try for now. I've done one. I've got 2 more to go. And if you don't do it, it gives you something to aim for, and it gives you a reason for getting up. There's not really much reasons for getting up, is there?
True enough, but 5 years down the road, I mean, you have it, you say, when I'm 28, I mean, that's past 5 years, and it'll be almost 6 years. That to me is remarkable that you can say in 1985 or 86 that this is what you're going to be working on.
Well, this one happened the rock and roll one happened a little bit early, like 2 years too soon.
Yeah.
2 years quicker than I thought it would. So maybe the flying one will happen early too. Maybe the video will go up and I'll get out of it after 2 years as well, I don't know. But I think that'll take a little longer because it needs more exploring. I've got to do a lot of research and trial and error before I can actually do something properly with it.
Do you have your pilot's license?
At Christmas. I've got the flying now, I just got to do the written exams. Again. I've got to do them again.
And from what I understand, it's going to be where you're taking people to certain historical places, certain places.
Dunkirk.
Pardon?
Dunkirk. War zones on the French coast. There'll be in World War II aeroplanes, we go up and lower across the channel. And there'll be this little man on the microphone saying what happened. And then we go over places like Dunkirk and other beachheads. And certain cities which are quite famous for one reason or another to do with the war. And then back again, like a nostalgia, educational trip. Maybe we take school parties that do in World War II, like college people, that sort of thing.
I would wonder, given your fascination with science fiction, why you wouldn't take them to places like Peru to see what Von Däniken found there and places like that.
No interest really. I'm interested in, I like seeing the programs about it. I've no particular desire to actually go into it. I'd rather read what other people find out. My interest lies in simpler things.
Where do you think the line is going to be drawn when machines get to the point where they're taking people's jobs away really heavily and all that?
It started years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, but do you think that that man is ever going to put the stop on machines?
No. Do you see lazy? He's basically lazy, isn't he?
Yeah, but when it threatens one's livelihood.
It won't, because the machines were making so much money, if people will let them, that there'd be more money for them to have for nothing. If people stop moaning about machines and let them get on with it, there'd be 10 times as much money in the world as there is now. Because they'd be making 10 times as many things more efficiently. And that's the circle. And that's, I like it, but for most people it's going to be unfortunate.
So you welcome the day when machines do the things you don't want to do. I mean, but is it going to be possible for everyone to have their cake and eat it too in this sort of society?
No, I think it will wreck it eventually. And we probably won't be around to enjoy it, if enjoy is the word. I think it will make us destroy each other. I said that ages ago anyway, we go back to basics, start. And basics now, when people have a lot of time off, in England they seem to fight all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That a good night out is going killing someone, basically. And people seem to do that if they've got nothing else to do. So when the machines are in everything and nobody's got anything else to do anymore, then they go back to that. I don't know, it's just one way of looking at it. I'm a bit cynical about that anyway.
Cynical about man or about...
Oh man, yeah. I like machines. No special reason, I like gadgets and I like switches. I've got a flash camera because it's got a lot of switches on it. Not because it takes good pictures, I don't know if it takes good pictures or not. It just looks great.
So you're a fan of technology, and yet, while you welcome, the sort of automation, you still have some sort of an aversion to could we call it the supernatural? You won't go in buildings where reportedly ghosts have been, that sort of thing. You still avoid that.
Yeah, well that's the opposite. That's technology you can control and watch. You can't do anything about the other one. I can't have anything to do with that at all. It terrifies me.
You once worked in a warehouse, didn't you? Wasn't there supposed to be some sort of haunted warehouse?
There was an unusual section of it, yeah. It was called Section 11, where the books were in this particular warehouse. It was over the far side in the corner, so it's the obvious place for people to be scared of. And it was odd, yeah. If you was ever on your own there, you knew it. It was a strange corner. The trouble was I used to have to work there, that was my section.
Where did you feel, what was the sensation that goes through your body when you know that that you're in an odd place. I've never been in what is called a haunted house or a haunted area.
It was just, I just couldn't help panicking. I never panic. You know, I've been in airplanes and things have gone wrong when I'm flying. And you don't panic, you just go through the motions of how to get out of it. But that, you start, first of all, you start like backing away and you're determined not to look back because it's your pride. And then you do, and then you panic, and then you run. The amount of times I've gone flying out of that warehouse, like I had a rocket after me. Shut at the door.
You didn't work there long?
I did actually, yeah, for about a year. I got a job in the forklift, so it took me out of the section.
Is that where you were reading a lot of stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where you found...
Section 11, I used to do all the readings.
Is that where you discovered A.B. Dick?
Philip Dick, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I was into him before, actually. It's just fortunate that I got into a book section so I could read a lot more. No, I got into all sorts of people there, strange things. I used to read a lot about... There's a lot of books about flying, actually. So, that was quite helpful.
So is that where the fascination with flying came?
No, I've had that for a long time, but it's just nice to be there.
What about movies? You know, Bowie never felt himself a complete performer until he, you know, did Nicholas Roeg film.
Yeah, I don't consider myself to be a performer anyway. I don't feel natural doing it. I don't feel that he's doing it. So, if I do a movie, I've got a lot of offers just lately, which is inevitable, I suppose. I don't really want to be an actor now. I'm not too sure if I do them. If I do them, it'll be because it's something to do. I might do one with Derek, or do the videos with Numan videos, the promotion films.
Right.
Whether we release it or not, I don't know. Whether we're ever going to make it or not, I don't know.
Are you going to do a career film on how to grow up to be a rock star?
I'd like to do a documentary, yeah. Just for my own, so I can show it to the kids when I'm older, which is what I used to do.
What do you think they're going to think of the father?
I don't know, they probably think he's got a bad temper. That's about it.
But,
I don't know.
Is there, you know, one ultimate goal that you have? I mean, beyond the airplane, beyond the video career? Something where...
It's very simple. All I want to be is married and have children. It's as simple as that. No more. And rich.
We'd all like to be at some point. But how would you... Do you see difficulty now in extricating yourself from your fame, from your fortune? Trying to...
I don't see it. It's an awkward process, maybe quite long, but it can be done. And this is like beginning to do it now. It's just the start of it. Although it seems a bit silly that I'm doing interviews talking about not being famous anymore. But you'll be surprised that I'm sure it'll work.
And I would imagine that the woman you would meet, I mean, you're proud of what you've done. You've accomplished so much for your age.
Yeah.
Is it going to be... Are you worried about meeting someone and them, as I've talked to so many pop people have said, you know, they like you because you were famous once. And that's obviously something you're going to have to...
Yeah, I used to have that. I used to really make me upset quite a lot because I just couldn't see any way out of it. And then I met someone a while ago that didn't even know who I was. And that was great. I didn't know people... So that sounds big. I didn't know people like that around. She was in the business. Not in this, but she's a dancer. And I just didn't think... I'm like interested in those sort of people. And I didn't think anyone would be in that business and not sort of know me. And she's got more money than I've got, so she's not after money. And she wasn't particularly impressed by my fame because she took it over Rod Stewart, I think. Wasn't she from Dustin Hoffman? And so she's had it far bigger than I am. Far bigger star. So it wasn't a problem anymore, and that was really good for me. And so I've been with her for a while now.
And I thank you very much for sitting down with us. And best of luck along the road in North America this time. And although we won't see you again, maybe we'll see you in the movies on the TV.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.